touring is definitely, it's not what you think. You know what I mean? And definitely, like, if you party and you do all that shit, it makes it a lot easier. And I remember, not to get too deep too quick or anything, but I remember when I was like 25, I had been touring for years and years and years, and I was sober. I was always sober. I never really did shit because my parents were drug addicts and alcoholics. Mm-hmm. So I was going through it and facing crazy anxiety. I had to talk to a psychotherapist, man. I was thinking all kinds of crazy intrusive thoughts about harming myself and, you know, XYZ, yeah. And but I had to get through that. And I've personally found that me, you know, drinking and smoking weed later in my life allowed me to do it in a pretty responsible way. So I feel like a scotch at the end of the show, or maybe a little bit before, for me, is nice and relaxing, but you can't overdo it.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I really used to put a lot more trouble on myself, I would say, with drinking and smoking too much, touring and shit. So I would be fucking hungover all fucking day. And then I would feel good by the time it's time to go on stage. Because once you get on stage, it's almost like everything go away. That's the one thing that I really love about performing, is that it don't matter what I'm going through in my life or what argument or what beef that I had. Once I'm on that stage, it's like nothing else matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, also that's why they say exercise is so good for anxiety in general. Mm-hmm. So it's like when we're on stage, especially motherfuckers who perform like us, like really put on a show, you're getting that heart rate going, you're doing it, you're sweating it all out. So yeah, you feel like $1 million. But then afterwards you drink a little more and then you wake up and it's like a cycle, man. It's great if you let it be.
Yeah, you always been one of those guys, like doing early in your music and all that, always been big on the mental health thing, man.
Yeah.
I really congratulate you for that, because
thank you.
I just now recently started going to therapy and shit. And no matter what, I always be like, man, I don't feel like going to this shit. You know what I'm saying? But every time I do go, I do feel a lot better after I leave and shit, just to have somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
It's a taboo, bro. It's like, you know, especially in the community that we come from, it's like that shit is fucking cry me a fucking river. You know what I mean? I got a line that's not even out. I think it says, where I came from, in my hood, everybody was depressed but trigger happy, and therapy doesn't exist. Don't at me. That's a real thing, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
We're made to feel like our emotions or this or that is like pussy shit, and it's not. You know what I mean? Unless you're acting like a bitch. There's a big difference.
And I think it's always like being looked at as a financial thing too. Because even I told one of my homies that I'm going to therapy, and she's like, "Shit, man, you can pay me that money. You can just talk to me, nigga. What you need? What you got to talk to that motherfucker for?"
That's real.
And then, you know, motherfuckers be so private about shit. You telling them all your business and shit. Like they don't really understand. Most people don't really understand what it's about. And for the most part, it's just getting that, you know, outside source of somebody that don't even know you or nothing like that. And they can just give their opinions on shit. Yeah.
And it's a release, man. It's important, dog. Like, yeah, so for so long, I didn't go to therapy, and then I did, and it just changed everything. Tools, you know, even like last night, bro, this is really crazy. I was hella nervous. Or not nervous, I was hella anxious because I was a little hungover. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, let me soak all this shit up. Let me, you know, it wasn't nothing crazy, but I was like, let me eat something. So I texted Bun B, and then I got the Trill Burger, right? Because I was like, what's up with that? He was gonna come through, but he's in Venice right now.
Oh, you was in Houston yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, tight.
So I got the Trill Burger, one of the best burgers I ever had in my life. Let me just preface this.
I keep seeing everybody say that.
It is so good, bro. It's amazing. But then I ate too much of it because I've been on this, like, everything I eat half. Because I realized, like, overeating, there's really no point in doing that. So now I just do like portions, but not with this shit. This shit was so good. And then I got hella anxious because I was too full and it was all the sodium and shit. And I'm like about to go on stage, like anxious as fuck. And I got out there and I did like 2 songs, and I still felt anxious. And I was like, man, you know what? Fuck all this shit. And I just told everybody, there's a couple thousand people there, and I was just like, hey y'all, just so you know, I'm anxious right now, and I'm having anxiety. And the show fucking gonna go on and we're gonna kill it, but I just don't want to feel like I'm trapped in my head alone right now, and I just want you to all know what I'm dealing with right now. Now let's turn the fuck up and have fun. And then it went away. Oh, okay. It was wild.
So do you still get nervous for shows and shit after all this time?
Well, that was just hungover and a Trill Burger. But do I get nervous? Yeah, I think I get nervous when it's been like, you know, I haven't been out in a year or two, or even like through COVID, right? All those years, nobody could tour. So when I went back out with Wiz, or even on this tour, yeah, I get the first few shows I get nervous, but in a good way. And I think it lets me know that I care, you know, and I'm excited for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be fucking terrified. I think that's the one thing. I never really was that like, cause rapping it it always was like just something I did around the neighborhood. So I never really thought of myself like, I love being, I love the creating process and the writing shit, but just being on stage, I was never prepared for that
But
shit.
you're a great performer.
I think because I used to get drunk. That's why this going on this new one, just being, trying to do this shit sober is going to be really hard because the most fucked up shit for me was that the first day out of rehab, I had a show.
Oh, wow.
Literally, like left rehab.
So what was that like?
Oh, it was fun for the most part because it made me feel, I felt a lot of gratitude. After being gone for that month and, going through all that treatment and shit and lectures and, fucking therapy and, just being so emotional for that long period of time, it made me forget who I was, some type of shit. And I feel like I found myself a lot more being there, just being sober. I think that happens in general because a lot of times people don't understand, like, motherfuckers be getting high and getting fucked up and shit is a way to escape who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like that, your fucking self-esteem issues or whatever the fuck that shit is,
Yeah.
So for me, I used to get fucked up to go on stage and all that shit would just go away and I'd just be up there having a fucking blast. But then I was like, fuck, I got an hour? Like I was just watching the clock like, oh shit, it's 30 minutes left of this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna get through this shit. But it was, I did feel myself just after, performing so long drunk and all fucked up, I did feel I was way more crispy. Like just performing, like knowing the lyrics. There's been a lot of times I've been on stage and fucking mind just go fucking blank, especially my Xanax phase. It's been a lot.
I never did Xanax.
Man, it's great.
That's what everybody says. That's why I don't want to do it. I was talking to Juicy J. He was like, man, he was like, a Xan, you got a Xan and you mix that shit with some Waka, you get you some good, some lean. I was like, yo. He's like, don't do it, Logic. I was like, I know, I'm not gonna do it. I feel like I would fall into that.
It started for me with just basically I used to fucking go overseas so fucking much and just being on those long ass fucking flights. After a while, that shit started to take a toll on you.
For sure.
So then, motherfuckers was like, just take a Xanax. And then I started taking Xanax and shit, and I would you would literally just get on the plane and just blink, and next thing you know, you're there. You be like, oh shit, you just switch time zones like that. You with they shit.
You like the Xanax salesman right now.
No, but but see, this is the thing. This is everything has its pros and its cons, and the cons with that shit, it fucks with your memory. Wow. So after so long of taking them shits, and then it got to the point, it's just like anything else. You start taking them for fun. I used to be in my fucking basement and shit, working in the studio, just taking Xanax for fun. I used to call it playing ping pong. I used to fucking take a Xanax and bounce off every wall at my fucking house, wake up in the morning, it's fucking dents in every fucking wall and all that shit. So, I mean, now it's extra fucked up. I wouldn't, now with this whole fentanyl shit and they fucking pressing fake pills and all that shit. So, the pill game is fucking definitely sketchy as fuck right now, which is crazy. You would think anything, fucking pharmacy shit should be the most safest shit, but it's really the most fucked up shit now,
Yeah.
So that's scary. So